here on the little farm, the perfect time to do a few little chores. In the fall, I like to go around the gardens and check and see what I could do differently or what can be transplanted or split. And one of the areas I want to work on is right here. I'm trying to get it to fill in a little bit more. So I'm going to be transplanting some hostas because fall is a great time of year to transplant hostas. Believe it or not, early spring and fall are really good to transplant hostas. I'm going to also be moving my butterfly bush in my south garden because it's really growing and is doing very well, but I didn't place it quite in the right spot. So I'm going to be moving that today as well. And I had some mums that I bought because we were having an event here on the little farm. And I'm going to be planting those as well. So I have a lot to do. I covered up all my plants because I don't want the goats to eat them. I'm going to let the animals out and see if they behave themselves while I'm busy. We'll see. I think I'm going to start with the butterfly bush. I'm going to move this back about 2 feet because it's too close to my walkway right here and it's really growing beautifully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig a hole, and I'm going to dig a hole to get the root ball out. So it's going to be a pretty good sized root ball. Then I'm going to dig a hole to put it back in there. I'll put a little bit of compost in there with it, mix it with its soil, and then water it, and then it should be good. The roots on this butterfly bush at this time of year are starting to go dormant, so it's a good time to move my butterfly bush. Once I move it, there's a bee on my nose. Once I move my butterfly bush, then I'm not going to trim any dead off of it until the spring. So when the spring comes and then I'll see some dead, that's the time I'll trim it. Right now I'm not going to trim it, I'm just going to move it as it is, which is going to be a big job. Little goats already getting into trouble, looking for rose bushes and pretty flowers to eat. Another reason for doing the butterfly bush first were these hostas. I had them in this flower bed to fill in until the other plants grew bigger. And now that they're nice and big, I'm going to take these and plant them where I want more hostas. Now that I have the butterfly bush transplanted, I'm going to go ahead and plant these mums. We got these for an event and I have several of them and I want to replant them. Now what determines whether they'll come back or not, I'm not really quite sure. Miss Beth and I this weekend were trying to figure that out. Some of my mums came back from last year and some of them didn't. But we're going to go ahead and transplant these anyway. We'll give it a try. Mums are pretty low, so I'm going to plant them kind of in the front. I think this one will look really nice here. Since there's another one growing over there, this will be nice right here. I'm going to clear the area and then I'm going to dig a nice big hole. And I'm going to dig it big enough for the root ball to get in and a little bit wider than the root ball. The ground is nice and soft, easy to move. I'm not too worried about some of these plants because It's fall, and a lot of these plants are going to be dying back pretty soon anyway. I'm going to turn it upside down and it'll pop right out like that. I'm going to loosen the roots a little bit just because they're a little bit root bound from being in the pot for so long. And in the soil. And here we go. Hopefully it'll come back next year. You couldn't decide whether it was where you buy them or what type you get. But anyway. Cute. I planted a mum here by the fairy garden, and I planted another butterfly bush. We'll see how they do. It's so cute here. Oh my goodness. Pretty soon, this fairy garden's going to turn into a scary garden. Laughing to myself because I was thinking about the beauty people on the YouTube and how they're always talking about making they put all that shiny stuff on their face to make it shiny, dolphin look or something like that, I think. And I think to myself, all they need to do is come out to the little farm and get it naturally, because it is hot, everybody. It is so hot, and I am very dolphin skittish. Is that a word? Dolphin skittish? Something like that. Anyway, I got my hostas ready to go. I placed them where I want them, and now I'm just going to dig holes and put them in. All work stops when the duckies see worms. You gotta dig through the dirt and find worms. All right, you guys. This could go on all day, ladies. I gotta get these holes dug. Figured out a way to sneak into Mama's plants to eat them. And have a cozy spot to do it in. Naughty goats. Well, I got that done. And now I'm going to go ahead and get my bird feeders, take them inside and give them a good washing. Because fall is a really good time to put my bird feeders out. I don't put them out during the spring or the summer because the birds get plenty of access to worms and bugs and their natural things that they eat. During the winter time, it might be a little bit harder for birds to find something to eat. Even though the squirrels eat most of the stuff on the bird feeder, I don't really mind. I get to see different kinds of birds, woodpeckers and all the kind of birds that I know are out in my yard, but I don't really get to see them because they're hidden. They're hidden underneath the shrubs and the trees. And in the wintertime when I have my bird feeders, I get to see them. But first, I have to put those naughty goats and chickens and ducks away. I have all my bird feeders ready, and I'm going to give them a really good soak. And I'm going to go ahead and clean all of my pans that I use to feed the animals outside. Now, when you clean this, you can use vinegar. And if you use vinegar, it's a 50-50 solution. Half water, half vinegar. And I don't have that much, so I'm going to use bleach. And bleach is 1 capful per gallon. So you don't have to use as much bleach. And I'm going to go ahead and soak these for a while because they are really dirty. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to wash these a little bit. Because they're not that dirty, but they do need disinfected and cleaned. So let's get started. Now I just have to wait for the sun to dry them nice and dry. And then I'll hang them up outside. We got a lot accomplished today, didn't we? We got all the fall transplanting done and the bird feeders cleaned. It doesn't sound like much, but it was a pretty full day. Wow. Thank you for being along. Fall's the perfect time to try to get those last minute chores finished that you kind of neglect all summer long. It's a beautiful time of year. Now that I have my daily chores done, I am going to get a nice hot cup of tea and grab a book and sit outside and relax. I hope you get outside today. Take a walk, take a break, have a cup of tea. Whatever makes you feel good. Thank you for visiting Miss Annette's little farm in the big city. I hope you get outside today. And we'll see you next time. Bye!